Hello everyone, my name's Tom, aka Fatherpain on the KLOB forums. I've been a collector of classic arcade games here in Southern California since 2002. I grew up playing these games during the 80s at liquor stores, 7-Elevens, at the arcades, and at the mall. And during which time as a kid, never would have dreamed it possible having these games here at the house. But here we are. It's a great hobby to be associated with. I've met a lot of great and helpful people. And anyway, just wanted to share a video walkthrough of my current gaming setup. Before we step inside, it's a little noisy out here, so I just want to kind of give some details of what to expect. The games are housed in a finished garage. It's insulated and it has a AC mini split unit, 36,000 BTU, to keep the games and the people inside cool. One of the first things I did when we moved in was upgrade the garage to have a dedicated 125 volt electrical sub panel, and then we had the receptacles wired so that there's multiple receptacles in the room, so that it's easy to plug in games and convenient. Lighting is accomplished by black light LEDs that are inside recessed ceiling lights. And I also have some accent lighting that I got from Amazon, a battery-powered remote. The games are all set for quarter operation, and I have a change machine that I keep full of quarters, so guests can just walk right up and grab the quarters as they need to. You know, just like the old days, except, you know, I provide the quarters. Anyway, with that said, let's go on and step inside and see what's going on.
On your mark.
Alright, well, here's the space. What I'll do is I'll do a quick walkthrough of the arcade, and then I'll go through each game one at a time and do a few quarter drops so you can kind of get the feel for what's going on here. Okay. As mentioned, I've got a nice RDAC change machine that I keep full of quarters. People just walk right up to it. Taking a brief look around, I've put some of my comic book collection up to display. To try to kind of give an interesting vibe to the room. All right, so let's take a step around. We'll take a walk around, heading left first. I've got this little nook where we can have 8 games in here. So we have 8 games in this little cubby hole. Turning around here. One of the things, I rearranged the room so that we can showcase Afterburner Deluxe and Spy Hunter prominently. I've got an island in the middle of the games, and basically I made a big donut. I was able to get some, last year I was able to pick up some dedicated original posters. So I finally got those framed and installed. Here are the workhorses of my collection. I've got 3 Japanese candy cabs, 2 Egret 2s, and a Sega Astro City 2. They're all currently down for maintenance at the moment. My buddy took the power supplies to recap them and do some maintenance on them. I've had these machines for over 20 years, even before I got into classic arcade collecting, and they've been trouble-free, but they've never been maintained. Here's some cool blacklight posters that we picked up from Amazon. They're like reproductions of 1971 Marvel blacklight posters, and they're on sale for like 78 bucks for 12, and they look fantastic. All right, so just kind of giving a quick walkthrough so kind of get the layout of the game room before I kind of go one at a time. Got the handy dandy fire extinguisher there. We have a high scoreboard that I got from Wayfair. Has a nice classic look to it. All right, so here's the first game, one of the first games that I picked up when I started collecting. This is a Crazy Climber cocktail. I love playing the cocktail version. It just feels right on the joystick movements. Here's a nice track and field 4-player cocktail. Starting over here, I've got a pole position that I picked up from Brent Radio back in the day. Unfortunately, it got rained on when I had a roof leak. I've restored the damaged parts on it, and all I'm waiting for now is a working PCB. So this game will be back up and running hopefully soon. Right next to it is a beautiful Marble Madness that I got from the Atari-cade back in the day. Beautiful game. I don't know if translucent trackballs were standard, but I've switched all my trackball games to have translucent lights for a nice touch. Next to it, I've got a Black Widow, beautiful condition. Right now, it's got a monitor issue. It's blooming, but hopefully we'll get that fixed soon. It's in terrific condition. I got this also from the Atari-cade back in the day. Side art is gorgeous, as you can see. Next to Black Widow, we've got an Empire Strikes Back, which I'm in the process of converting back to Star Wars. It doesn't work right now because the Amplifone monitor has some jagged lines in it, but hopefully we'll get that resolved one day. Next to Star Wars, we've got a beautiful Crystal Castles. This game has been bulletproof, actually, since I've got it from day one. Has never given me an issue. As you can see, we got a translucent trackball as well. Next to that, we've got a little bit of arcade history here in millipede. It's a home use only millipede, formerly owned by world record holder Ben Gold. I picked it up from him maybe 15 years ago or so, and it's been well kept ever since. All I had to do was restore the control panel overlay and marquee and put a new monitor. It's been good to go. Also gave it a nice translucent trackball. As you can see, the side art's beautiful on this one. Next up, we have Asteroids Deluxe, also obtained from the Atari-cade back in the day. Beautiful shape. Next to that, we've got a Rampart 3-player dedicated trackball machine, home use only. This was actually at the Atari headquarters. Same thing, put the translucent trackballs. It's a great 3-player game. Really fun if you have players that know how to play. Again, I've reconfigured the game room, as I mentioned earlier, to showcase Spy Hunter and Afterburner Deluxe. Both games have been restored with numerous new old stock parts and artwork. Just in time for Afterburner, just in time for the Top Gun. I really like having Afterburner out here in the open so that people can spectate You can watch other people play while the action's happening. You can also watch through the back of the plexiglass, which is really cool. Spy Hunter Sit Down is my Grail game. It's the first game I ever bought, and again, it has been restored with numerous new old stock parts and artwork. It's a little hard to tell, but the original CPO does reflect backlight. Next to Spy Hunter, we've got a beautiful Berserk. It's got a repro bat stick and an optical 360 on it. Runs great. Well, actually, it ran great. It's down right now, but hopefully we'll get it back up and running again soon. Then we have Punch Out, a game I used to play a lot when I was a kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, flash go! Fight!
Next to Punch Out, we've got a dedicated Shinobi. Has a monitor issue right now, minor, but we'll keep that down until it's fully working again. Up next, we got Defender, which has been dead for a long time, but it recently was brought back to life. It's probably, I would say, of all the games, probably one of the games with the best sound. Great game. You can listen to that. Then we have Assault. It's got new old stock sticks that I purchased from Millstar back in the day, Steve and Beal. A lot of my games have new monitors in there, burn free. This is one of them. Next up, we've got Wizard of War. I think it's one of the first games with speech. It's a lot of fun with two players. Panning around, we've got Faint Panic. This is a game I never saw back in the day, but I found out about it later on through friends, and it's been a great, fun title. I highly recommend it if you can come across one, either in the bare PCB or its dedicated cabinet form. Next, we've got Battlezone. Currently has a monitor issue. Hopefully it'll be resolved soon. Then we have a Championship Sprint 3-player. Works great. Really fun for the casual gamer. As I mentioned, these are the workhorses of my collection. I run all kinds of arcade JAMA and non-JAMA classic PCBs in them. These two actually are linked up for puzzle bobble action. 2 players simultaneous on both machines can run the same game, so it's kind of interesting. I use one of the cabs for vertical shooters, or vertical type games. Right now, as I said earlier, they're down for maintenance. This is Bosconian, a very underrated game, one of my favorites, and also have a very nice original Bosconian arcade poster framed. Next to Bosconian, got Frontline. It's got a new old stock spinner. Have a slight monitor issue with color, but I think it needs a recap. We'll probably get to that soon. Another underrated title, one of my favorites. Then we have Zookeeper. Zookeeper has not been working for a long, long time, sad to say. One of these days, hopefully, we'll get it going back again. Then we have a home use only Burger Time, and also a dedicated Burger Time original classic poster. Here's a nice Zeke's Peak. Now this Zeke's Peak is a combination of 3 different Zeke's Peak, actually 2 that I combined into one, and then sold off the second one, and then also picked up a lot of spare parts. So have that all kind of combined to make the best Zeke's Peak that I could have working. Here's another home use only classic that I have, Sinistar. This game's been great. It's given me no problems during the time I've owned it. Beautiful condition. Here's Time Pilot. Yes way. Another fun title. Then there's Commando, another favorite. Then we have a Mr. D's Castle. Now this is not a dedicated, this is I guess a custom cabinet. They didn't have dedicated Mr. D's Castles, but it was so beautiful that I had to grab it when I saw it become available. The game itself is a lot of fun as well. Kind of pan around to give you kind of a look at what we're actually looking at. Then we have Mr. Do, a dedicated universal cab. Now this game was really hard for me to find and locate, but I was able to finally get one. I'm so happy to have it. Great game, beautiful graphics. Gets a lot of play. Actually, this backlight's not working, so I gotta investigate what's wrong with that. Then we have Mad Planets. We got this from Anthony Petrak Porter Arcade. Also have a dedicated Mad Planets arcade poster to serve as a topper. The marquee doesn't light right now. I'm waiting on a new fluorescent fixture to install, and then it'll be functional again. Next to that, we've got Q*bert. An interesting take on both of these games. I want to give a special shout out to AP Tony Swan on both games, Q*bert and Mad Planets, for helping me getting these back to running again. We're both running his awesome reproduction board sets. Before that, these games were both dead. Now they're much more reliable. I can't highly recommend AP Tony Swan any more highly than I possibly could. Terrific guy, very helpful. Then we have Missile Command. The PCB's got an issue. Once that gets fixed, this game will be working again. Next to that, we've got Tempest. Taking a look over here, we've got Warlord's cocktail cab, and also Warlord's poster to complement it. And then finally turning back around this way, we've got Smash TV. I used to play this game all the time at Yogi's Arcade in Anaheim.
Bingo!
All right, then we got a Terminator 2. And last but not least, home use only Neo Geo Big Red. My friend Dean Herbert Smart included me when he found 2 of these home use only and offered me one, so I grabbed the other one. Can't thank him enough. One of these days I'll get some mini marquees to put up in there and install. All right. Well, that is the extent of my collection. I do have 2 more games coming in. One of them is a nice elevator action, and the other one is a Star Trek captain's chair. When those come in, 2 or 3 of these games are going to have to go either have to part ways with them selling them, or I'm going to have to store them in the storage room. Parting with these games are very difficult for me to get rid of or part ways with them because I'm kind of attached to all of them. All right, well that's the extent of the game room. Just want to say thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I might see you out here sometime at a video game party.